over. You ready?
Yeah, yeah. All right. And we're live. We are live. We are live. We are live. I hope everybody is definitely joining, coming on the broadcast from wherever you are. We about to get started. Today's gonna be an amazing episode of Money Talk Mondays. Once again, I want to say thank you for tuning in to Money Talk Mondays. As always, I am your host with the most, Jawaan Sween. And we are so happy to have you join us for this broadcast on this Monday from wherever you are. We definitely want you to tune in. We want you to watch. We want you to take notes because today's episode is going to be amazing. So we want you to like, we want you to comment, we want you to tag, and of course, we want you to share this broadcast and allow it to be a blessing to somebody else because I believe that this information you're going to hear today is going to be absolutely beneficial to your business, to your financial success, just to your life in general to help you improve financially so that you can grow your finances and build generational wealth for you and your family. So again, I encourage everybody to please like, comment, make sure you engage, make sure you tag, make sure you definitely share, and make sure you come ready to learn. Get a pen, get a notepad. Maybe you could use your phone, go to the notes section in your phone and go take some notes. But whatever you do, make sure you write it down because you don't want to miss these gems. These are going to be some critical gems that all of us need to definitely write down. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be blessed. So I'm just going to give everybody 60 more seconds to come on in from wherever you are and just prepare your mind, prepare your heart to receive this information because this guest I'm going to bring on, she going to come with the heat. She going to come with the fire and she definitely has a lot of gems that she's going to drop. So definitely come on in. You got a few more seconds, and then we're gonna get it on and popping, and I'm gonna bring her on. But you definitely want to share. You definitely don't want to miss this broadcast. And even for those that will be watching it later on when I will rebroadcast, you want to make sure you are in a quiet space so that you can take notes with minimal distractions, so that you can capture all the information that you need to know in order for you to become financially independent. All right. Come on, y'all got 20 more seconds, and we're going to bring our speaker and our guest on. All right, 20 more seconds. Make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all comment. Make sure y'all ask questions. Make sure y'all are engaging. This is going to be a good episode. Y'all don't want to miss it. Y'all don't want to miss it. Again, you can watch us on the Facebook at the Go Judah Broadcasting Network. You can watch us on the Go Judah app. You can watch us on YouTube at Go Judah. You can watch us on Apple TV, Roku TV. You can watch us on so many platforms. So wherever you are and wherever you're watching from, we want to say thank you once again. And without further ado, we're going to bring on our guest and introduce her. So Key is a multifaceted entrepreneur. She's based out of Houston, Texas, who wears many hats but specializes in making dreams come true. As a seasoned realtor, she knows the ins and outs of the Houston real estate market. She's guiding clients through the complex journey of home buying and selling. With over seven years of experience in credit repair, Key has empowered countless individuals to take control of their financial future, helping them get approved for everything from funding and car loans to the ultimate dream, which is home ownership. She's passionate, she's dedicated, she's resourceful, and Key's unique blend of expertise it makes her the go-to person for anybody looking to elevate their life in a Lone Star State. So listen, without further ado, I want y'all to help me welcome to Money Talk Mondays, the queen herself, the realtor, the entrepreneur who wears many hats and does her thing in business, Miss Key. We appreciate you. Welcome to Money Talk Mondays.
Thank you for having me here. I truly appreciate it. This is a lovely opportunity for me, so I'm happy to give any gems and any information to everyone who's watching. This is not the norm for me. I'm actually stepping out of my comfort zone, so Just happy to be here, and I want to see where this takes not only you, where it takes me. And I want to keep giving to the people. I want to keep on, educating the people because that's what we lack. We lack at a lot when it comes to educating people. So, thank you again.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I want to say thank you again. We've been in communications. I know the first couple of times, we had a conflict of interest in our schedule. But listen, that's what happens as entrepreneurs, as business owners, and doing the things that we do. But I'm just blessed that you were able to, carve out some time within your schedule to actually be a guest on my show. So that definitely means a lot. And thank you so much for your patience as well. Listen, we here now. We here now. All the way from the H town. I'm in New York, so this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. We got a lot of people everywhere tuning in. We got some delegates in Canada, so you international. On the broadcast, they're gonna be asking you questions, and they're gonna be definitely taking notes based upon the gems that you're about to drop. So I don't want to belabor the hour. I want to get right into today's episode and interview. So the first question I have for you, Key, is just tell the audience just who Key is, where you come from. Tell them who you are, and just let them know.
Okay, so my name is Key. I'm 28 years old. Originally, I moved to Houston in March of this year, and I'm from Maryland. So I graduated from Howard University. I did my 4 years there. I went there for free. My mom worked for Howard, so how I got into credit repair is a whole different story. But technically, when my mom, like when I finished college, my mom quit. I hired my mother to work for me, and things worked out for the best. So I got into credit repair originally because I had messed my own credit up. It's a story behind it, but I don't want it to take over the whole podcast or take up much of the time of it. But it wasn't. It was more so of a con. Like I got conned out of money, so I had to get into it, and then I was like, I was promised that I was going to get paid back the money, but I never seen that money. So my credit plummeted because I took out loans. I took out so much stuff, thinking that this person was going to pay me back, and they didn't. So I watched my scores actually like they dropped tremendously, and then I didn't have any other choice but to file bankruptcy. So I filed bankruptcy in 2017. It was very upsetting. Like I hated it for myself, but from a different aspect and a different point of life, you can now, like, now that I know how credit works, I wouldn't say bankruptcy was the worst thing I could have done because the rich do it all the time. So, and I'm not encouraging people to do it, so don't think that I'm saying that that's okay. But at that time, I thought bankruptcy was like the worst thing I could have ever done. But really, it was just like a you learn from your mistakes, and then you just kind of like move forward. And it was kind of like it was a reset. Like, okay, I owed all these all these creditors, and at the time I didn't have anything to to show for it. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do, but I'm gonna get into this field. I'm gonna do what I need to do. So the way I got into it, I started repairing my own credit. I was working on my mom's, my dad's, my brother's, my sister, everybody in my circle. I worked on their credit, my friends credit. And I just like remember just everybody being excited, like with the results that I could deliver. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna just try this out. I actually was passionate about it, and I still am to this day. So I said, you know what, I think this is my calling. I started advertising on social media, and I got my first client from Instagram. She was actually from North Carolina. So that's when I knew that this was my purpose, and that I was supposed to not only do this, as I wouldn't say look at it as like from an entrepreneur aspect, but to educate people. Because here I am, I'm only 28, so you do the math. Like I started in my young 20s, didn't have everything figured out. And so at the time when I did have to, file bankruptcy and stuff like that, to me it was like, dang, this a lesson. But now when I look at it, where it has taken me, not only did it elevate me, but allow me to educate others. So it was a lesson, but it was also a blessing. So, I've been here and I'm still going.
Listen, I love your story already. That's very powerful. And I know it can be extremely challenging and very frustrating, especially when you went through that period of filing bankruptcy. Nobody wants to do that, but again, like you said, it's a lesson. And you didn't take it as a loss. You took it as a lesson, and in part, you got blessed from that experience because that taught you a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So, and now, you're doing your thing in business, and God has been very faithful to you, and has allowed you to build and establish different partnerships and relationships that has propelled your business tremendously. So that's powerful, and that's a testament to a lot of people that have similar stories and struggles, and that lets them know that nothing's impossible, especially when you work hard and you do what you need to do. So powerful, and I definitely commemorate you for that. Now, you say you from Maryland, so what was life like growing up for you in Maryland? Because I got some family in Maryland. I've been out there like twice, so I got family in Baltimore and in Cherry Hill. So like what was your life like growing up in Maryland?
Um, that's an interesting question. I mean, I've always felt like for me, I had to grow up faster, I would say, than I thought I would have. And the reason why I say that is because, I mean, just from the family I come from, I have a lot of old souls in my family. So I feel like even though I'm 28, I still feel like I'm a lot older sometimes just because of the people that I attract, my friendships that I have. I don't really hang around people, a lot of people that's like my age. So a lot of my friends are like 30 plus, 40 in their 50s. I mean, that's just how my life was just growing up. And I feel like I wanna say like I mean I always made the honor roll, so I was always a high achiever. I would say that, and my best friends they all went to college. We all went to college, so we kind of like all had the same goals. So when I went to college, college was something where it was like I didn't want to go because I wanted to go. Like I never said I want to go to college and stuff like that. And so even going to Howard, like I know my first year, I remember when I applied for Howard, I actually put on the bottom of the application, don't pick me. I don't want to come. I don't want to go to y'all school. I actually put that because I wanted to go to FAMU originally. That was my goal. That was my dream. But because it was like I said, I ended up getting a free ride because my mother worked for Howard. It was like a blessing because I said, you know what, I'm gonna just go to school. I'm gonna just get it out the way. But initially, I made bad decisions when I was younger, but it's crazy how life works because I think like having the right people in your environment will like push you to grow. Like my friends were smart. All my friends, we used to challenge each other. Like, who gonna get honor roll? Like that was what we were talking about when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in school, this is the type of friends that I had. So those friends automatically motivated me, and it was kind of like we was challenge each other for A's, B's. We're not talking about money. We're not talking about nothing. We're just literally challenge each other on who can like who's really educated at this point, like who's going to finish this year out strong or who's going to be finish out and actually graduate from high school. So I would say that I had a lot to learn when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn a lot. Like I said, my past is not the best, but it's not the worst. We all have stories, but I'm glad I am where I am now. So I'm like thankful for everything I had to learn to get where I am now because if you're not going through anything, you're not growing. You know, like in order to be somebody or in order to learn things, you have to go through stuff. Because if you're not going through stuff, it's just like okay, when life finally hits you with something, you don't know how to adapt to what it may have for you.
Yeah.
So I've learned that within my life, like no matter how much we all try to be in control, excuse me, no matter how much we all try to be in control and stuff, it doesn't always work out the way we want it to. So you got to learn how to adapt, and that's why they say a lot of the times people be in survival mode because really life is about surviving. You know, you can't. There's no blueprint on how you're supposed to live life. So it's like you got to figure out the way that makes sense for you. And I posted this the other day. It's just like chess. Like you are in control of the center, but you got to just break it down to like your own pieces, your own characters, like how you want to move, and so you can be successful. So can life plan out at least 90% of the way you want it to.
Indeed, indeed, I agree with you 1,000%. So now let's delve into the first topic of business. I know, based upon doing my due diligence about you, according to, your Instagram profile and the things you got going on, I saw and I came across, one of the things that you do is helping people, with business credit and also getting funding. Now that's very critical. And a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs that are watching right now, that's been a challenge for them, especially, as an entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur, having access to funding, not being able to have the access to funding, or not knowing what business credit is or how to establish it. So can you just tell the audience, firstly, what business credit is, and why establishing business credit is so important?
Okay. So business credit is essentially, it's not your personal credit. So business credit is where you start a business, and ultimately the goal is to get funding for your business, and it separates from your personal, because the business speaks for itself while your personal credit speaks for you. So I tell people all the time, the reason why you want to do your business credit is because it's rumor out there that you can get like no PG loans and all that, and that's true. But a lot of the times it does fall back on your personal credit. So you do have to understand that you're going to go into building your business credit like with like being the personal guarantor, like you're going to be that PG starting off. And so the way you'll start your business, building your business credit, was first you got to format your business. You need to format it. You need to figure out if you want to go LLC, S corp. You need to figure out, once you do that, then you want to go and get your EIN. Your EIN is free. That's your employee identification number, and that's the number that you're going to need to separate you from your personal taxes, because they're going to go by that when it comes to you filing taxes at the end of the year. Once you get your EIN number, you want to go and set up your business bank account. There's a lot of good banks out there. A lot of people start with Truist. Well, it used to be BB&T, but they merged. So with what was it, SunTrust and BB&T. So now they're Truist. But Truist is a good bank account. Chase is business friendly. I want to figure out, I want to say who else. A lot of the times you'll get like funding based off of like banks that people really don't know about. So it's always good to like do your research with like credit unions and things like that of that nature, so that you can actually figure out, what bank works for you. Because a lot of the poppin' banks are people like Wells Fargo and all those banks, like PNC, they're not really member friendly, if that makes sense. So
Right.
their goal is to like make as much money off of you. With credit unions, they want to help you. So they're
Right.
going to give you the best interest rates, and they're going to look out for you, and they're going to give you incentives and things like that because they care for the people. So yeah, once you do that, you want to get your DUNS number. I tell people all the time, a lot of people don't know about getting their DUNS number, but you'll go through Duns and Bradstreet to get your number. And then that's the number that you'll use to start building your business credit. So then you want to look into tier one, tier two, and tier three accounts. And those are just vendors. You want to partner up with some vendors who can provide your business with the supplies that it needs in order to run. So business credit is very simple. It's really just having, okay, it's obtaining funding to not only pour into your business, but so you can pour into other business ventures. Because once you start getting this capital, you invest in your business. But when you're investing in your business, obviously it's going to make you more money. So I tell people all the time, this is the way to utilize other people's money in the process of utilizing the money that you can get. Because when you have your personal credit, you're not going to get as much money and funding as you would with your business. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of the times, the only reason why a lot of people get approved is because their debt to income may not be like your debt. Uh, so your debt to income can't be high. So when I say debt to income, I'm talking, okay, so if you know you owe $500,000 and it shows up and the creditors can see that you owe all these people, and just say if you only make like 700K a year, you already capped out at like 500K, because it's gonna show you owe 500,000 on your credit reports. So you got 200K to work with. You're not getting no more of that type of funding, or you're not gonna get like $1 million and stuff like that. Where if you have a business portfolio, your business is going to show like, okay, she's making 20K a month, or she's making 60K a month. We don't mind giving her $3.2 million in funding. We don't mind giving her 5 million. You feel me? So, you just got to keep it separate. And so, a lot of people don't know how powerful business credit is and stuff like that, because they're not educated on it. They don't know where to start. They don't know how to go about it. And furthermore, they don't know where to get the funding. But there's a lot of like I said, a lot of the times when you do get funding, you're getting it from like uh companies that you've never even heard about. You're not going to go to traditional banks to get that type of funding. You're going to go to like a third party who has its own requirements, and that's what they strictly do. They lend. That's what they do. They lend money.
Wow.
So.
Wow. 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 Powerful. Powerful. Listen again. I hope y'all taking notes. She already going on the tangent about this business credit and all of that. So y'all want to make sure y'all taking these notes. Y'all don't want to let this information go over your head because this is absolutely essential. You kind of delved into my next question. I don't know if you read my question sheet, prior to this interview, but you kind of on the roll. I'm just going to kind of I'm gonna kind of reiterate it, or maybe you can elaborate and expound upon it. So I would say, what are the steps that a person should take in order to establish superb business credit?
So, I mean, it's a matter of building up your portfolio. Like a lot of people want to skip the tier one, two, and the tier two accounts and go to tier three. Tier three is where it sets you up for funding. So your tier one is like your, like, let's just say like your gas cars. They're like your regular traditional cars, like the stuff that's going to get you there.
Yeah.
Then your tier two accounts, your tier one accounts is really your gas cars, and like I said, they're your vendors with like, um, how do I put this? People who can supply your business. So just say like if you need pens, you need paper, toilet tissue, like just those companies who actually who like have something to offer you, so you can at least set up, like have your business or your office set up properly. Then you get into the store cards, the gas cards, and stuff like that. And then tier three is when you actually start applying for these actual credit cards that you can utilize, and you're like, and you go and you apply for the actual loans. So you're getting loans, and pretty much, let's just shorten it up. Tier three is a step where it takes you to get like that max funding that you're looking for. But everybody tries to skip that because people, it's so much stuff on the internet that's going to tell you, oh, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that. Well, here's how you can get 500K just off this, and that's not true. Unless you have a good credit score, great. And when I say good, I'm talking like 700, 720. A lot of times 680 may be good, but it's not always the best. Most people who's going to lend you some heavy money with no type of business credit established is going to require at least a 700 credit score.
Mm-hmm.
So you can bypass that for sure, but just know you're going to be the PG. You're not going into no, you're not getting no loan, no crazy loan without being the PG. Just being honest.
Mm. Wow.
Just
Wow.
being honest. Like, you're not.
Wow. Wow. Definitely a gem. Definitely a gem that the people needed to know. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what steps? And again, I don't mean to sound redundant, but what steps can a person take to actually build capital for their business, and what type of lending or funding sources should they consider?
That's a good question. I mean, when you first, okay, so I'll tell people, I guess I'll just throw it out there. Like when you first start, you want to go with like Quill. You can apply with Quill. You can apply with CEO Creatives. You can apply for Granger, stuff like that. Those are the beginning ones. Then they have Credit Strong. Credit Strong has that. You can go through Brex, the Ramp Card. These are all ways you can get started in build business credit. Now, when it comes to funding, a lot of the times people get into applying for Amex. So I have a lot of business credit cards through Amex, but I actually use my I've been building my business for so long, so I was able to get more business credit cards than personal credit cards. And personal credit cards, I think I didn't like. I got approved for some, but I used to be married, so like my last name and first name kind of like messes up everything, and that's another thing I'm learning. If anybody has ever been married or anything like that, and I don't mean to get off topic, but if you ever been married and you have a different last name, you're better off going with what you've been applying for. So if you're known as, John Doe, and you become John James, I don't know. You want to keep it as John Doe because your approvals and stuff, it will confuse them and it starts looking like fraud. So
Mm.
anyway, yes, I have a lot of business credit cards through Amex. I don't have Chase. And the reason why I've never gotten Chase is because I don't stay in that 524 rule. So you cannot have gotten approved for 5 accounts within 24 months. Um, Like you can't have applied for 5 creditors and got approved and go with Chase. They don't do that. So you have to wait at least 24 months before you can go and apply for Chase. Anyway, let's get back on topic because I think I got off topic.
So good.
Initially I started talking about the vendors that you can actually tap in with in the beginning, like for just starting off. And then what was your second question?
Yeah, so my second question was, what type of funding or lending sources should they consider?
Like, give me an example when you say that.
Like, for instance, like, what type of lending companies or, would you recommend, that people should consider when,
Okay.
to get, business capital?
Got you. So they have Fundera. You can use Fundera. They have Blue Vine. You can go through Blue Vine, and you can also go through Cabbage. I know Cabbage is really good. Um, I say SoFi, but some people may say Sophie. But you can utilize SoFi. SoFi is really good with the capital period, with um, personal and business credit. I wouldn't say go through One Main because they be having like a lot of like One Main and Lemon Tree, they're not the best for you, but they still will give you money for your business funding. And then I'm actually partnered with Rock Financial. So Rock Financial, all you need with them is a credit score. Well, actually, they don't even go by your credit score. You have to at least make 5 to 10K a month, monthly, with your business, and they'll give you up to, well, their lending goes up to 5 million. So just because you make 5 to 10K doesn't mean you're going to get that 5 million. However, the more you make, and if they're saying that you make like 20, 30K, you may be able to get up to like 600 or almost close to $1 million in funding. So I've partnered with the Rock Financial. I've also partnered with National Capital Business Funding. So they also are very business friendly oriented as far as giving out loans and stuff like that. So yeah, those are the people that you can go to for your funding.
Listen, she giving y'all some nuggets, man. I don't know if y'all catching this, but she giving y'all some nuggets. Listen, make sure y'all like once again. Make sure y'all comment. Make sure y'all engage. Y'all talk back to us, all right? Y'all talk back to us. Y'all already know how I get. Y'all already know the vibes. If I don't see your question, I'ma definitely hit my sister up, and she'll be able to answer your question. And she's gonna give you all her contact information after the broadcast, and you'll be able to freely just DM her and contact her for any other questions you may have concerning her business and everything that she can definitely assist you with. So definitely share this broadcast and allow it to be a blessing to somebody else, because again, she's giving y'all the blueprint right now. She's giving y'all the game. She broke down what business credit is, why it's important. She basically gave you the lending and funding sources. So listen, we good money right now. So we gonna keep it rolling. We gonna keep it rolling. So the next question I'm gonna ask you is, what factors now should a person consider when evaluating sources of capital?
Okay. What? Say that one more time.
Yeah, what factors should a person consider when evaluating sources of capital? So before, they want to basically get business capital from, a particular lending or funding source. What is something that they should be prepared? Like what should they have, or um what should they have, or what should they be aware of before they consider getting the funding from a business company?
Well, really, it really just boils down to you having a strong profile. You need to have a strong profile, and you need to have your business needs to be set up in a way because your profile is your profile, but your business is your business. You're trying to obtain funding for your business. So when you're trying to obtain funding for your business, a lot of times the lenders are going to ask you, okay, what type of business do you have? And how much money does it make? That's what it all boils down to. So you're going to have to make sure your business is accumulating money, and that you're not in the negatives. Like a lot of times they may ask for 3 months bank statements. Sometimes they may even ask for 6 months bank statements, and you pretty much want to be like, listen, I got the credit score. If you all don't, if you all are not going to accept my business profile, or I got the business profile with the business income. So you want to have that. You want to, and when I say set up, when I would say that you want to have your profile set up, I mean, I'm talking about your, like I said, your EIN, your, the way you format your business, your DUNS number, your business bank account. Nothing personal is going in your business bank account, nothing like that. And then you want to start, like I said, building relationships with those vendors. By the time you build great relationships with your vendors, they're reporting to Duns and Brad. You get your paydex score, and they're reporting to Equifax. So now you have your score, your paydex score. And you need an 80 or above to be in that, to have that good credit profile. So once you have that, I mean, that's all it takes. That's all you really need, because you already showing the people that you're responsible, that you know what business credit is. Like they have something to look forward to. They see your score, so they're not going to tell you no. Now from that side, you got your credit profile set up, the business credit profile set up. But now it's about your business. So how much is your business making? Is your business in the negatives? How often, like, is it in a positive? Does it stay in a positive? Is it one month where it's lower than others? Is it one month where your money is, like it has increased? Like all those things matter. So that's really just what it boils down. Just those two.
Mm, wow. All right. All right. All right. Now, what strategies would you recommend to a person that is seeking to improve their business credit profile? Because again, you already established that having a strong business credit profile is definitely important. But what strategies would you recommend to a person that is seeking to improve their business credit profile? Maybe it's jacked up. Maybe the business credit is low right now. Maybe they just don't know what to do in order to improve their credit. But what strategies would you give a person that's looking to do that?
So you always want to make sure you're paying your stuff on time. Like that's one thing first and foremost. Anything, any loan, any credit card, anything you have, you just want to make sure you're paying on time, because that's what's going to reflect and report on the credit report, whether it's your personal or whether it's your business. Like I say, I strictly focus on credit, like just the personal side. I have tapped into the business credit, but my actual field is personal credit. And when it comes to personal credit, you really just have to clean up your report in order to look like responsible. A lot of people go and get their credit fixed, and they think that they no longer owe the debt, but you still always owe the debt. You're just cleaning up your reports like a report card. So your report card, you pretty much, in order to to show people why they should give you funding or why they should approve you for a loan or whatever it is that you're trying to get, they need to see that you're making at least your payments, like all your payments on time. Nobody wants to see late payments. Nobody wants to see collections, charged off accounts. None of those things will help you. So you want to make sure that you are ultimately just paying your stuff on time. If your credit is messed up, you want to repair it. You want to start disputing those negative items off your credit report. You want to if you don't have, if you know you owe the creditor and you don't have the money, it's okay to call them and set up a payment plan or set up a payment arrangement, but you want to get everything in writing. So you do want to be able to say, listen, I'm willing to pay X amount of dollars if you all remove this from my credit report, stuff like that. So from that personal side, that's how you'll do it. But like your business credit, I tell people all the time, it's really hard to mess up business credit if you don't even know how to build it. So the game that I would give you for personal would be totally different than business, because people don't really know how to build their business credit. So a lot of the times it's really just about making sure you structure it properly. You can't really mess up until you start getting the funding. And like a lot of the times, like I say, people say, "Oh, we'll just get in your business name. It's not going to affect you." Again, if you are the PG, it will affect you. If you're not, no, it won't affect you, because there is no ties to you. That's just tied to your business name as opposed to your personal. So really, you got to focus on your personal sometimes to get where you got to go in the beginning. And then once you start doing that, you can separate the two. Now you're like, okay, I use my PG for these first couple of loans, but now you built your business credit, and on top of that, you have a strong. Not on top of that, your business is now speaking for itself. So you can start pulling back, or don't even do nothing. Pull back and pay on the loans you had to come in the PG with, and now just start focusing on just being a no, having like being not being the PG. So now you just focus on your business is just getting money for the business, and you don't like you're not your credit score, your personal side is not even on that side or even brought up on that. You know, how do I put this? It's just like it's not a factor anymore. Like
Mm,
your personal is not a factor anymore.
okay. All right. All right. It's not a fact. Okay. All right. So now let me ask you this question. and I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know as well. If I or anybody that's watching wanted to become a client of Key, what benefits or advantages would they expect to receive from you as a mentor?
Okay, good question. I should have read all your questions because I feel like I would have been able to answer them a lot better. But
How
I'm
you
gonna
good?
wing it. Well, for me, my whole goal is to get my client wherever they need to be. So if my client says I'm looking to start a business and I need you to help me format it, I'm going to give them the steps and tell them the steps they need to go and format it. If they came to me and asked me, "Hey, Key, I need you to fix my business, I mean my personal credit. I need you to fix my actual credit. I messed up. I hit rock bottom at some point in my life, and I need you to get me where I need to be." I'm going to tell them, okay, this is what you got to do. We're going to have to dispute these items. I'm going to ask them, are they looking to rebuild their credit? And when I say rebuild their credit, now I know exactly what creditors will approve you with bad credit so that you can actually start proving your worthiness again. That's kind of like how it goes. When certain stuff is not removed from my client's credit report, I'll let them know, like, okay, now it's time to negotiate with the creditors because, okay, we've cleaned up 75, 85% of your credit report. Are you willing to go the extra mile to get these items removed based off of, negotiating? And from that point, I'll just give them, like, keep giving them mental like advice, like these are the do's and these are the don'ts. Don't do this, don't do that. Same thing with setting up your business. Like, okay, if you wanted me to set up your business, I'll show you how to do that. A lot of times, there are other things that you got to start doing to actually get yourself professionally a professional. I call it a professional portfolio. So you want to have a good website. You want to have, they say, a professional phone number. I utilize my phone number, but those 1-800 numbers is cool. You want to get you a virtual address as well. A lot of times people will tell you get a virtual address or a PO box, but PO box are looked down upon, so you don't want to do that. You want to just get you a virtual address for a company who like allows your mail to go to them. You want to have a resident agent. So that's what I said. Like, it's so much you can go into detail with as far as business. But when you speak of business credit, this is all we're speaking about. But you gotta have with your business credit, you gotta be set up professionally as well too. You gotta be listed in a 411 directory. Um, Everything just has to boil down to your setup and people, because people are going to do your research on you. They're going to look you up. They're going to see what it is that you do, and they're going to look for credibility. How credible are you? Do you have a Google business? Do you have anything on Yelp? Yes. Like, what really makes you show that you are who you are? Are you in any like journals, articles, any public relation things like that? So if anyone came to me, my goal is to get them where they need to be. Whether it's getting their credit where it needs to be, getting them the funding that they need to have. A lot of people come to me. That's why I became a realtor. At the end of the day, a lot of people come to me and they say, "Okay, I want to buy a house." So my goal is to get you in your house. A lot of people say, "Okay, I need up to 100K in funding." And there's certain questions that I'm gonna ask them. Okay, who you bank with? Navy Federal is the best bank to get funding with. So I'm gonna tell people, listen, if you can get a Navy, I know to play for that. Okay, if you can get a PenFed, I know a 50K play for that. If you could get with Truist, I know a 50K play for that. Like, I know the plays. I know what people need to get where they need to be. Some people come to me and tell me they want a BBL. I know to play for that. Okay, cool. You want to go get your body done? Okay, all you gotta do is care credit. I'm gonna show you how to get your care credit and what you need to get care credit. So a lot of time it's really just knowing, with me being in this field for 7 years, I'm able to kind of like know like who's going to pull what, which bank is going to pull your Equifax, your TransUnion, your Experian, how much you may get just by putting this, what you make on the application. So there's a lot of different things that if somebody came to me, like I know I can help them. Like it's not because it's nothing that I haven't learned over the years that would not make me credible for sure.
Whew, you said a lot. I don't know. I don't know. I may have to become a client. That's some pretty heavy stuff. Some very detailed information you just gave, and definitely, if y'all want to become a client, y'all know who to hit her up. She just gave a boatload of information just now. She know her stuff. She know her stuff. I told y'all, man. We don't listen, man. We bring on the hottest and the best of the best of the best. So listen, y'all. I hope y'all get in this game. So now I want to switch gears for a little bit. You just mentioned that you are a realtor, right? You've been doing that for some time as well, and I'm pretty sure just by the looks of your post and the way you interact with your clients and your partners. You really enjoy and love what you do. So it's a two-part of this question. How long have you worked as a realtor, and who or what inspired you to pursue that career?
Okay. So I've been a realtor since June of this year.
Okay.
Originally, a lot of my clients are like really happy with my services. A lot of the times they want to keep like the momentum going. They don't want to end the friendship. So, or because I look at my clients like I've gained friendships with my clients. Like I don't just look at my clients as people who spend money. I look at my clients as a family. I had a lady the other day who was just like, I've been with you since 2019. Like, and that's the thing. A lot of my clients are repeat clients. It's not good, but it's not bad, because the reason why I say it's not good is because at the end of the day, it's like I don't want you to come back. Like I need you to understand, like it's okay. Like we all get behind and fall back on hard times, but you know, it's not okay to think that it's okay to keep messing your credit up because you can fix it. Like that's never okay. But anyway, a lot of my clients will say, "Hey, Key, I'm trying to buy a house. You have a realtor. Would you recommend somebody?" So I'm like, or they'll say, "Are you a realtor?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not a realtor." So prior, I was like, "Listen, you might as well become a realtor and help people, because at the end of the day, like, they want your services." So I remember one of my clients when I moved to Houston, she was like, "Hey, Key, I'm looking to buy a house. When you help me fix my credit and you get me rolling, I'm trying to purchase a home." So I just said, "You know what? I'm about to be a realtor." Because a lot of people come to me, even with my tax business. I do taxes too on the side. And I know last year when I did my tax business, I just posted like, we're all now offering taxes, like tax preparation. If you need somebody to do your taxes, let's get it done. And so many of my clients supported me with that. They was like, "You can do my taxes. I'm cool with that. Like that's fine. Get it done." So people establish a relationship with you, and that's why it's so important to do the job that they hire you for, because you never know like where it can take you. Some people, the credit business is really janky. I'm being honest. It's not a trustworthy business. So your name is on the line. It's like you really care about your clients. What are you willing to do to keep that rapport with them, to build the rapport, and to get them to continuously come back, come back? And I've noticed that over the years, my clients are loyal to me, so I don't have no choice but to be loyal back to them. So the way I got to being a realtor, I started advertising. Now it's like everybody say, "Oh, I want to work with you. I want to work with you. I can't wait till you finish my credit. I can't wait till you do this. I can't wait till you do that." I've referred 5 people out in Georgia. I just referred somebody out in Florida. I referred somebody out in Colorado. So I find people. My clients are not all in Houston. My
Mm,
clients are all over the place. My clients is
wow.
in Maryland, Virginia, DC, California. They're in Georgia. They're everywhere. So a lot of the times, my clients will be like, "Hey, Key, I know you're a realtor. Are you a realtor in Georgia?" And I'll say no, and I'll just refer them. But realtors make money off of referrals too. So it's not like I'm not getting paid to assist my client. However, I make sure that my client is taken care of. Like if I'm going to be sending somebody to them, I got to send them to the best of the best too, because they're rooting on me and going by who I'm suggesting them to go with. So that's why I got into this. Another thing was too, I realized as a realtor, it's really based off marketing. So I love marketing. At one point in time, I didn't know marketing. I didn't know nothing about how to be a good marketer. Right now, to a lot of people, I'm like a social influencer, but I really want to be big and I want to take it to the next level. But as a realtor, you don't just market homes. Like you find solutions for people. You find a place for them to be happy at. They commit to that. That's a large loan. So they commit to that loan. And during that time, they need to find a person who really has their best interest at heart. Because anybody could become a realtor for the fat checks and commission, but really, it's all about having your clients, their best interest at heart. So that's how I got into this, and ever since I've been doing it, I love it because I meet so many people, and I like to go to like the model homes and stuff like that. Just look around and just like I don't know, it's fun. You are your own business. As a put it like this, you are your own business, your own you are your own brand, I would say, for being a realtor. Like you don't get to say, like I could have said tell anybody I'm a realtor, but it's like, okay, it's only gonna go so far. But tapping into this market is like you don't have no choice but to brand yourself. So you're gonna have to get on social media, wake up every day and either drive to them homes or educate your people. Because if not, nobody's going to know you're a realtor. So anybody can say, oh, I'm a realtor, I'm a realtor. But okay, are you working with people? Are people connecting with you? Are you selling things? Are you in a process of selling things? Like, what are you doing? And a lot of people can't say that.
Mm, indeed, indeed. Point taken. I definitely agree with you on that. Now, I know every state is different and every jurisdiction is different, but what was the process like for you to obtain your real estate license? Just for those people that may be listening or watching, just to give them an idea of what they need to do if they desire to also become a real estate agent or realtor.
So the first thing I had to do was I had to sign up for the course. I actually did in-person classes because I was actually in process of becoming a realtor before I moved to Houston. I had just finished my courses back in Maryland. But once I moved to Houston, I was like, forget Maryland. Like, whatever. It is what it is. So you have to do 180 hours here. So that's like, I think they break it down like 30, let me see, 36. 6 courses, yeah, 30 hours, 6 courses. So I went in person because once I got here, I had applied to be a realtor and I did it virtually. But the way they have it here is they time you. So like you could finish the course, like have gone through all the material, but until that 1 hour or however long they think it's supposed to go, like you supposed to have sat there, goes out, you can't go to the next page. And I couldn't work like that because I'm like, okay, I could really be done this course faster, but it's taking me time. So I just went to Champions. Champions is a really good school. They recommend it here. I spent like $1,000 for the course, and I finished in 3 weeks. So you go to class. They're actually going to tell you like they're not going to tell you what would be on the test, but they tell you the important things that could be on the test. So it saved me a lot of time because the things what I noticed is that when I was on it virtually, I would just try to remember everything I could. Whereas you go to class, they're going to tell you like highlight this, don't forget this, remember that. So they
Mm-hmm.
really help you out. They really prepare you to get where you have to be. And that test is no joke. I mean, I failed the national exam the first time, and then I passed it the second time. I took it in like 2 days. I failed on a Friday, passed on a Sunday, and then but when I went and took the test the original time, like the first time, I passed the state exam, which most people say is very hard. So the national, you never have to take it again. Once you take the national, you no longer have to go and take it again. You only have to take the state test for where you're trying to become licensed at. So, say if I wanted to go and become a realtor in Florida, I would just take the state portion. I wouldn't have to do the national anymore. So overall, you just got to sign up. You pay your fees, and then you do your test. Once you take your test, they're gonna do fingerprints. After they do the fingerprints, because they're just gonna check to make sure you don't have a background or anything like that. After that, you're gonna go and apply for like your like where you're at. So I would be part of the Houston. What is it? Houston Realtors Association or something like that, or Houston something like that. It's hard. It's hard. I'm a part of it or whatever. And I had to pay those duties and fees to do that, and then you get access to the MLS system, which is the multiple listing service. You have to pay your fees for that too. So a lot of times I tell people if you're trying to get into this business, you definitely want to make sure you have access to the funds because starting up is going to cost you before you even see your first deal. You're probably going to be ditching out a lot of money just to say you're a realtor or to become a realtor. It costs a lot of money. That's not what a lot of people don't tell you that. They don't tell you that it's a full-time business. So people who come in here part-time, if they're making it, that's great, but this business doesn't require you to just be like part-time. You really have to show up for yourself. You got to talk about who you are and what you can bring to the table, and you got to put the footwork in because it's all about marketing. Like this really made me tap into social media content, me being a realtor. Before then, I was winging it, but this is what does it for you. So yes, they don't tell you that. So you got to come in here with a plan. Like as a realtor, yeah, you got to talk with that mindset. Okay, when I become a realtor and I know I'm going to be a realtor, what am I willing to do to get my first sale? How am I going to show up? Because all that HGTV or whatever they call it, whatever, all of that stuff is not real. All that
Mm-hmm.
Netflix, all that, just
$1 million listing and all of that.
Yeah, it's just not real. It's not realistic. It's not. I mean, unless like you have a crazy following on social media
Hmm.
and like they fuck with you, nah, you're not. Nobody's gonna just go out here and make a major purchase with somebody they really can't trust. And I'm not saying you have to have sold anything because you don't. Every realtor started off not selling anything, and then they started selling something. But there was some type of trust somewhere with someone to make that sale go through.
Mm. Wow. Wow, definitely, definitely a lot of info that I didn't even know because you mentioned the national exam and the state exam. I only know about the state exam, um, but what does the national exam entail? Like, does that give you access to do business in other jurisdictions outside of Houston?
So the national exam is just an overall, it's like an overall portion of the exam that goes into detail, like what is I want to say what is like, let me explain it. Because it's not federal laws, because state law, but
Yeah,
it's like overall, like what's carried, what is the rules and regulations traditionally, like nationally throughout the 50 states. Like that's just for everybody. So state laws are different because a state has laws they originally have to follow for the national part, but the state part is only for that state, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Do you follow what I'm saying?
definitely.
Okay, so yeah, like the national, just a broad understanding of real estate. Put it like that. It's a broad understanding of real estate, how real estate works. The do's and the don'ts, the what you can, what you can't do, how contracts work. Um, yeah, pretty much it's really about contracts. A little bit of financing, not too much of financing. The principles of real estate. Because that's what it was. Principles one, principles two. So the principles of real estate, just overall, what's real estate?
Yeah.
And then the state part is just strictly for that state part. What are the state laws in Texas for real estate? Because they are not the same as in Maryland. Maryland has their own state laws, Texas has their own state laws, and so forth.
Okay. Okay. That definitely. Thank you for that clarity. So the next question I want to ask you is, how do you help your buyers stand out from the rest, especially in the competitive market of Houston?
That's a good question. I mean, you gotta figure out who you ideally want to work with. So if I wanted to work with first time home buyers, then I'll say, okay, I want to work with first time home buyers. But you have to have something that will make them want to flock to you. So for example, I have a preferred lender that I work with, and his FHA program is a grant program. So you don't come out of pocket with anything. So that's what would make me get my buyer would be the incentive that I have for them. I wouldn't just try to sell them a house because they can go to anybody. What would make you want to work with me? And it would be like, luckily, it would be my lender. I mean, a person could probably want to work with me because they may say, "Oh, she's cute." No, I'm just playing, but no, they would want to work with me just because I mean, they see me a lot. I am on social media heavy with the content. So yeah, they may see that, but there's a lot of other people doing that. So now, okay, what can I offer you? Okay, so we have a 3.5 FHA grant program that we offer, or that my lender offers to people who are looking to purchase their house. They as a first time home buyer, and or we have a conventional loan program where you only got to put down 1%, and then the other 2% is a grant as well. So there is different ways you find your buyers by giving them an incentive that they can't find anywhere else. Especially right now with interest rates being high, I'm telling all my buyers, I say, let's go new construction. And they'll say, well, why do you say new construction? Because why would you want to pay almost 7 to 8% when these new constructions are starting off at, for the first year, they may have an offer like 3.99 for the first year, 4.99 for the second year, and 5.99 for the third year. That's good right there. That saved you almost, if you starting off at three, that saves you 5 points, like five, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
5%. So
definitely.
it's like, why would you not want to go new construction? I was doing an open house not too long ago. I actually got into it with a listing agent. Because she had this way of how she go about doing her open houses. Mind you, the house was on the market for like 200 and something days. And I was like, I sat back. So I'm like, okay, first and foremost, I'm doing a open house in a development that's still building. The house is new to the people who are trying to sell it, but it's not new to the builders or the people who are actively looking to purchase a home.
Mm.
So anyway, long story short, she didn't like how I did her open house. She was like, you didn't put out 30 signs because it's really, really big. It was a really big community. And I was like, so I said, ma'am, so you said, every weekend you have a open house here? And I said, and you said, and everything you're telling me you do in the past? She was like, yes, everything. I said, ma'am, this has nothing to do with my signs. The house is not selling because nobody's probably willing to pay $700,000 for this house when they can go and build a brand new one for the same amount with a better interest rate. This ain't got nothing to do with me. So
Mm.
it's like you gotta understand. It was like for her to have been in business for years longer than me. It's like, come on now, there's a disconnect here. Like you're getting on me about how this open house is supposed to sell, and furthermore, you want me to put out all these signs, but realistically, this ain't have nothing to do with that. This got everything to do with the market. So you got to know your market. So if you're marketing a new construction in a new in a development that's still building new construction, chances are that house is going to sell, but not it's